Forgot to put on my headphones. I say that as I press the button. Hello. Oh, sorry. Hello. That means this chat box isn't gonna work either. Ugh. I have ice cream to eat. I'm gonna eat ice cream for a minute. I'll put the art on screen now. Does that mean that I should just hide this if the chat box isn't gonna work? No, you were correct. It's the hat box. The hat box. Oh, I might as well check right now. See if it'll crash it. Uh, Hello? There we go. Oh, I kept your streak. There's something that I vaguely remember about streaks being harder to break. Watch at least 5 seconds of any story with watch streaks icon to restore your streak. You can technically watch the stories to keep it. Oh, it's showing up on this side. Why isn't it showing up there? What the hell? I'll just get a new freaking URL. Get a new URL. Gimme. But what am I doing to me? It's okay. I'll just turn it off on the list. Right. Sorry, I'm saying can't because then it erases the rest of the overlay because I built it that way. Well, I can do that. Do this. Do- Nope, not that button. Nope, not that button either. Oh God, what did I do? What just happened? Do undo undo. Why is everything? Why is everything disappearing? Okay, I don't know what was happening there. Okay, this this oh nice, clean, easy, good. Then I can lower this. Good. Just fine. Great. No cattle. There we go. I did a little bit more drawing since the last time I pulled up the model. think so. Now I've drawn most of it. Except for the horn and the monocle. But pretty much everything else is drawn. So this will mostly be layer naming and then uh adding layer colors, which will probably just be not even base colors. It'll probably be like, how do I explain it? There's usually like an underlayer of white. Idris Elba? Sorry, I got distracted. Like an underlayer of white that I usually do so I can see what layers are on top of the others. And then I fill in the base colors on top of that. I'm gonna put on podcasts to listen to while we draw today. We're gonna have at least one creep cast. I'm back on the creep cast train. But I think we'll do this one. Japanese creep pastas. And then what else do I have? Ugh. Uh, sorry, I got spooked by a phone. Uh, Did I finish listening to the most recent? Yes, I did. But I like it enough now to listen to it again. We'll start with that one. Sorry, I'm texting. I'm texting. I'm texting. My ice cream is melting. I'm sleepy. I'm already sleepy. It makes sense. I've been working all day. My mic kind of cutting off early. Maybe because I'm not directly speaking into it. Just seems like it's moving. The audio is moving weirder than normal. So many fake grand order announcements. I love it. I'm so happy for them in the JP server. Hmm. It's not. It's not giving. It's not giving me good stuff to watch. I guess I'll add a down the rabbit hole one as well. I don't mind. I don't mind. Oh, there is a Wolf Among Us trailer. I was looking at a like a whatchamacallit, video games website that like had all the summaries of the announcements, but it didn't have the Wolf Among Us trailer on it. We'll watch the Wolf Among Us trailer really quick because I want to watch that. We'll bring YouTube on. Boop. I guess I can make the window bigger. Oh, not that big, I guess. Hold on. There we go. Do a little bit of this. A little bit of this. Mhm. Lock it in. Lock it in. Can you hear it? Will be the next question. Should be able to.
Homicide. 6 total.
Why can't I hear anything though? Everything's going through my speakers. But but no, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Each case, husband and wife. Homicide. 6 total so far.
I like how everyone can immediately recognize what it is.
Shredded.
Among Us too.
People are dying. Some monster is out there.
It's so exciting. I just watched Tony play this too, so it's pretty fresh in my mind.
Bigby, Sheriff, I'll have your job within the week.
Are you living under a rock?
You're a raging dumpster fire of a person.
Here there is, and I'm here.
She's a detective.
I like that it looks updated too, but not like different.
Ready to get to work?
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Very excited for them. All right. I'm gonna have podcast going in the back. Wooly and John in the back. Yapping away. Go turn it down on your guys' end. But the design, the character designs and all of that for it is so good. So distinct while being actually kind of simple. Yeah, that's good. The Alien Isolation one was okay. The quality was crazy of that final shot of the alien. Japanese, yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me because it was Wayland Utani, and then they had like a rival company that was a Japanese company. In the official narrative. Let me see what it was called.
Can I be real here? Can we just
Uh,
drop the
the
entertainment and just
five
go straight to the emotion here?
companies.
We can always be real.
Uh, Prodigy, Wayland Utani, Lynch, Dynamic, and Threshold. Well, I guess it must have been Wayland Utani then, as a merger. Let me see. Alien, Japanese, company, Alien series. It is the Utani Corp, which merged with British Wayland Corp in 2099. So that's what it is. So that doesn't surprise me. I always feel like I remembered like that it was also a Japanese company. I just couldn't remember in what regards it was related. Because Wayland was in one of the movies. I think it was one of the last couple of them where they like cloned her. And then there was some mention of Utani, but I didn't remember any of the real details. Oh, Yutani Corporation, a Japanese dynasty where the leadership is traditionally passed from mother to daughter. Wow. Oh, I didn't watch Alien Earth. I guess I should probably watch Alien Earth at some point if it's building off of that world building. Are you excited for Control Resident? Maybe. I don't know. I never finished the first Control purely because I like got sidetracked and then never went back to finish it. I have it on PlayStation. And I think I also bought it on PC. Maybe. That vaguely feels correct. But also, I want to play Alan Wake 2. So I want to play Alan Wake 2 before I get too excited for Control Resonant because I feel like that will maybe be a better progression than just going from Control to Resonant, you know? Because I feel like when I played Alan Wake, the first one, it gave me a little bit more aesthetic context and like directional context to what I did encounter in Control. Because I played Control first, even though I didn't finish it. Too many video games. Yeah. Way too many. But if it's a good game, then it's worth the wait sometimes. Worth the climb. I did also think that it looked more like a Devil May Cry. Sorry, I was eating ice cream. But I thought the like the first few trailers and gameplay stuff they were showing was a lot more action based, which I don't know if that's really the direction I would want for Control, you know? I felt like the whole mood and aesthetic of the first one and the gunplay was really cool, but it was still a lot more atmospheric feeling than I feel like a lot of the trailers of the new one have been. Gimme? No. No. My water's too far. There we go. I have to grab my water real quick. I'm gonna start playing the boys talking on the podcast. I'm gonna try to speed this ice cream because it's melting too fast, and then I'll get some art going.
You can always be real with me.
Thank you, Ollie. I have been coming to this episode with a certain amount of dread. And we won't get into
Be
specifics of
quiet.
what I mean by this yet.
Can I be so real?
Fucked up.
Hold on. You weren't here for the BR chat. There was 2 chatters that came in, and they didn't say anything after their first 2 comments, but the comments that they left were insane. like like the confidence to say that on Twitch, even in the playful way that they did, was kind of crazy to me. I will send you a picture, but uh, it I was so surprised. They didn't say anything after, so I think that they were honestly pretty chill. But it was like really surprising. Hold on. Uh, let's see. Oh god. I'm not gonna clip it. Actually, there might be a. They saw the opening. They did. I think they just probably saw the like video preview and hopped in the world. Hold on. This one is good. Well, I'll like actually open it and we'll just watch it on stream really quick. There was a gunner vacuum. I think that's what BR chat category kind of is, based on what I've seen. It, like I'm not even really joking when I say that. Like it kind of seems like that might be the case. Can you see what they say up there? Hold on, I have to make it bigger. So excited for the new games that released at the Summer Games Fest. Yeah. Those are the comments though that I'm talking about. They they were at least they asked, honestly. At least they asked is the thing that I'm surprised by. I'll play this clip really quick because it's kind of funny. This was later when Paper popped in. I think he saw the previous comments too. And then that one has got, oh hey Paper, ignore the previous messages. I'm pretty sure those people were just kind of dropping by. I'm in VR chat, so I'm in the VR chat category, so I'm not surprised. But they kind of came and left, so phrasing. But yeah, I'm exploring VR chat today. Yeah. So they popped in and then left. Your voice from that model hits different. Yeah. That's what I've kind of realized as well is models really like they change things. I had a couple of other ones that I might send you later where I was like, "Oh, that feels different." Let's see. And let me switch this back to the boys. Oh god, the boys are too big. Do you do the Chris Evans head throwback when you laugh? No, not always. Not, that was just the moment where I like had that realization of the phrasing after I had said it. And to me, it was so funny. It was so funny to hear to hear that. So if I'm laughing really hard, I will, but not always. It was also because the headset's pretty heavy on the face. So if I don't move, then it uh kind of gets like awkward. Like it starts pushing on my face weird. So I kind of am willingly shaking my head more. It was a good stream though. It was fun. Hug train, more like hug train. No, thank you. It's not any like offense or anything. I'm not very much of a hug person either. Something missing off of my wall. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining it. I'm taking
I
offense.
think
Sorry.
I think I did
I
it
I really
bad,
didn't mean anything by
and
it.
things did not
I was also using a
pan
different
out
mic than usual on VR
like
chat.
I was
I
planning.
was using the mic that's built into the headset, so I probably also sounded a little actually different than when I use my regular mic. So had all the same filters though, which I'm surprised how good the quality was. So
Okay. Well, first of all,
normally I use
welcome
a
to every
Fifine
episode with
USB
a bunch
mic.
of dread. But I am
That's why he makes the big bucks, folks. For audio listeners, Wooly flipped his
It's on
dreads
a
as he said that,
arm
because God
as
forbid
well.
that
So
thing get
sometimes when you hear
lost.
me like that kind of sound,
but
that's me moving the arm.
there are many ways
It's
with
actually pretty
which
good quality.
I
I've had
could
it
I
for
could
like
say, yeah, John, I think you did fuck up.
4 or
But
5
I'm
years now,
curious
actually.
to
So
let you
it's
take the
holding
lead
up really
here
well.
and guide us to the one in particular that you'd like to call attention to.
Oh, we'll get there. But
Okay.
in the meantime,
Time to upgrade?
I'm Mike
No,
Wolf,
I'm
it
Wooly
does fine.
Versus. And
and
The
we
quality is great for
are.
the price that it is. It has some extras. I won't worry about it. It's honestly kind of perfect for my setup too.
So, well,
I
you
don't
haven't
really
said
have
it
a
yet,
great
but I can see you looking,
way
and I
to
can
set up
see you
audio
thinking it.
more
I
complicated than a
do
USB
agree,
mic.
because I
So
just got back from
like,
a
it works pretty
relaxing
well for
holiday
that.
in Switzerland.
Switzerland.
But where I went was this little town called Locarno.
Oh, you got to do small town on the vacay. That's
Small
awesome.
town. And
Yeah.
Locarno is
I'm
kind of
going to
on the
Google that
border
one.
between Switzerland and Italy. And though in Switzerland is a very Italian town, I heard more people speaking Italian there than I did like Swiss German. And
Yeah.
that's cool with me, because I have a great fondness for Italy, its food, and its people. I have several friends in Italy and some business connections there too. Um,
I'm doing Googling.
but Wooly, you ever been to Italy?
I have not. I have not done the Euro trip proper. I
Mm-hmm.
really just I did your neck of the woods and I did some Scandinavia. But I did not do Italy. No. I do
Okay.
remember though that like one of the first things I learned about Switzerland back in high school was that it has like it has four national languages, and like culturally there's like they speak five, and it's kind of just this insane multi-linguistic polyglot environment, which is particularly relevant for us to learn about since we're here with French and English, trying to get along in Quebec. So it was really interesting to hear about a place where they have
Oh yeah,
five
like
languages
so.
working seamlessly.
I did spend one night in Zurich, which is like a big city in Switzerland, and it was just like walk down the street, hear someone talking in French, and then German, and then English, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all like we went for dinner last night, and we were sitting beside a bunch of like college professors, and
Mm-hmm.
they were literally like going from different languages and just in a
Mm-hmm.
way that seemed very natural. I heard someone unironically say, well, you see, the thing about Einstein and his theory of relativity, like yeah, I heard that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was interesting. But no, so Locarno felt while I was there like 90% Italian,
Okay.
and Italian food, Wooly, delicious. Gun to my head, maybe my favorite kind of food,
Wow.
maybe,
Hot take.
maybe.
Hot
Mm-hmm.
takes.
Wooly, I'm all about saying the shit that everyone else is too fucking scared to, okay? So pizza, good. Pasta, good. A spaghetti bolognese, amazing, right?
So controversial yet so brave.
Look, Wooly, you
Honestly,
every
I
time
think
we
the
meet,
fee
you
fine
say
is
it to me.
probably
You're like,
fine.
John, your
It's
problem.
not like
Tell
I've
me
had
what's
any
that?
issues
And
with
you just
it.
go, you look up at me and you just go, you're just so goddamn
If
real.
I maybe feel
And
like
it's true.
That's
It's
you
true.
did ask to be
there's
real.
something that could be
That's how we
better,
start.
then I would think about
Um,
it. But honestly,
the
it's kind of fine.
timing of Italian food, Wooly,
Need
proved
Alma at the
quite
highest
difficult.
quality. I don't know that there's much more
So
quality
let me
to
tell you
get. I'll be
something that they
real.
don't really do in Italy.
To the point
And
that
like, look, you can
maybe
get
if
it a
it
little
was
bit.
higher
You can
quality,
get it a
I'd
little
maybe
bit.
sound worse, honestly.
Breakfast and brunch.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
really a thing, and that's a problem, Wooly, because my favorite meal is brunch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so this proved a constant struggle over there. But in Locarno, particularly, there's this kind of thing, this kind of cadence, and I could not get my fucking head
What did I
around it,
just
right?
eat?
It's like you go
It's like a
into a
piece of ice.
restaurant and you're like, is it okay if we get a
Crony
table
would
for two?
disagree.
And this will be like
Yeah, but Crony
half
has like an
seven,
incredible
7:30
voice.
in the evening. And they'll be like,
What I'm saying
yeah,
is
are
that
you looking for
parts of the
food?
lower quality are probably
And
cutting
you're like,
out imperfections in my voice
well,
that naturally occur from having a not trained voice.
and they'll be,
So
and their response will like genuinely be like,
Wow.
well,
Wow.
okay, oh, okay.
Man, the
Then
world
you
is
sit
big.
down,
I'm a
they
big
bring
soda
you a
drinker.
menu, and you order from the menu, and they bring you food, and you're like,
And there's
okay,
a rasp in my voice
what, I, what, I don't,
after I
what
talk
was
for
the
a while.
difficult,
You're
That
not
would
on
probably
time
be
with the rest
more
of culture.
more
yeah,
annoying and
and
higher
it's just,
quality.
Oh.
I could not, and like, I looked it up online, and Italians
It's
are
Pog.
in, like, their timing of meals
Sure.
is a bit unique in that they mainly eat
I'll
dinner
believe you for
between the
now.
hours of 8 p.m. and like 9:30, half nine. So like,
Mhm, okay.
but like there was one fucking day, and I felt like I was going insane. Right, I looked up a restaurant's times, and they opened at 8, and I was like, cool. And so I went to the restaurant like earlier that day, like during the lunchtime, and I was like, could I make a booking here for 8 p.m.? And the woman looks down at the book, and she's like, and then she's like, 8 p.m. And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, okay, we're not really doing dinner then. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, but we are serving food. And I was like, like I can just go somewhere else. And she was like, no, we will be doing food. And I was like, sure. And then I get to the
What?
restaurant at 8 p.m. and it's a different staff member there. And I was like, "Hi," and then he was like, "Are you looking for food?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I go, "I have a booking for 2 for dinner." And he goes through the book and he finds my booking and he's like, "Well, all right." 30 minutes later, I'm eating a fucking burger and I'm like, I don't understand what's happening.
What do you? Yeah, okay.
And like, I feel like I'm breaking some like social faux pas, but I can't figure out where. And I'm like Googling around, being like, do Italian people eat dinner? Italian people love dinner, according to the internet. And like, so like, I don't know what's happening.
Yes, yeah.
But the
I think
best part,
John went to New Zealand and then Italy
in Locarno
on vacation,
called
which is what he's talking about.
And it has like
Not
a
Italy.
really high rating on Google.
Yes, Italy.
And it's like 4.
I don't know why I was
9.
correcting
I'm
myself.
Like, oh shit, this seems really, really good. And so I go, and Michelle sits outside, and I go into the restaurant. And
I'll make it a tiny bit bigger.
The restaurant is empty, except 3 rake thin Italian women standing there in silence, and they just look at me as I walk in. And I would say, Wooly, these women have they have aura.
New Zealand looks so nice. Yeah.
I immediately
it's real pretty.
feel intimidated. I'm a little like, okay, these feel like serious fucking people. I don't even know what I mean by that, but I feel you get it, right?
Yes. No, I'm 100%. I'm seeing the smoke on the ground as you approach.
Yep.
Yeah.
I go up to them and I'm like, table for 2. Immediately, all 3 begin speaking in Italian at me, and I'm like, I'm like, I have to be like, sorry, English. I see them fucking look at each other like, this fucking guy, and I'm just like, oh god. And so I crawl through a conversation with them, and I want to order their carbonara pizza because it's at the top of their menu, and the carbonara pizza, that sounds wild. Yeah. And through a painstaking conversation, one of them basically says to me, and this took a while to get here, but it was basically like, if you order a carbonara pizza, I'll have to fucking make it. And she's kind of like, pick one of the slices here that is already made. And I'm like, oh, and I kind of put this together after the fact, and then I'm like, oh, but could I have the carbonara pizza, please? Fucking eye roll, and she's like, and I go and I sit outside, and Michelle's like, did you order? And I'm like, I think so. 30 minutes later, there was no one else in this place.
Yeah.
A carbonara pizza gets shafted out a window at me. And I take it, and I bite into it. And it's like one of the best fucking pizzas I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. I love that kind of stuff.
I see God for a second. It was the base.
The Amsterdam 616? No,
like
I didn't.
Saltiest, most
I saw it listed, but it
was like incredible.
The fact that it said
okay,
6,
and it was just
1666.
So and afterwards,
kind of was like,
I kind of
witches.
I go back in, and
I did see a little bit of that actually. I think I saw Nimi watching that one.
And they all just stare at me in cold silence. And then one of them's like, just goes, oh, and then I'm good. Then I'm okay. And they give me like a dessert that was frozen solid, but somehow still delicious. And it was fucking just, I left
my
that
bike's
place,
gonna
like,
make
with
some
my
noises.
heart beating like, but it
Okay.
was like some of the best pizza I've ever had. Piccolo, it has a longer name, but it's Piccolo in Locarno. If anyone ever goes there, don't bother explaining who I am because they've forgotten. But
There we go.
afterwards, Willie, I go to the
Okay, I'm
Google
gonna have to name some
reviews
layers.
and I want to give him 5 stars because I'm like, that was a fucking
Oh, excuse
incredible
me.
experience. Like
Oh,
me
you
and
didn't even
Michelle
hear
both
it.
came away from that just being like, that is one of the best pizzas I've
Okay.
ever had.
Gotta open
So
all
I go
my
into the Google
layers.
reviews, and 4.9, as I said, so many 5-star reviews, so many. No 4-star reviews,
It has a free prologue
no
out?
3-star
Oh. Is it
reviews,
a single player game?
no 2-star reviews. You better believe there's some fucking 1-star
One
reviews.
star. That's
so-
your average.
And so I scroll down and I'm like, okay, I gotta see these 1-star reviews.
Oh.
And there's one, and
Yeah?
it describes
Oh.
like the most
So it's basically a
insane
demo.
night at that pizza place, like being left
It's
waiting
a demo.
2.5 hours for pizza.
But they're calling it a
Jesus.
prologue
then
because
it
it's story
says-
related. That's cool.
And just when I thought things couldn't get any
Oh,
worse,
I still have to draw the horn, actually. Well, no,
the
I should be fine.
owner threw her towel at me.
I need to actually move this over here, because otherwise I can't have enough room.
Oh my god.
But then, Wooly, I see below it response from the owner.
Well, no, because then it's wonk.
And I
Great.
scroll down,
Like,
and I
here.
swear to God,
Saw game as well. Yeah.
Were there
It said
just
it's 30
hand
minutes
gestures
worth? Wow.
shaking?
Mm,
It
I would be a
just
little worried
says,
then how long the full game.
I would like to apologize for my inappropriate behavior that night.
Seems very spooky magic.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
They're cackling?
okay,
Yeah.
All right. All right. Hey, look, over here at Piccolo's, we get very heated sometimes, all right? We
gotta-
feel
I
our
gotta move stuff around.
feelings
Hold on.
deeply. And so to serve the best, it requires passion, and sometimes that passion, it goes the wrong way. Ah?
Yeah.
You know?
What, you don't like towels?
Yeah. Oh my god, that's great. Wow.
Yes, so even with the risk of being nailed by a towel, unreserved recommendation for that place.
So what I will say with the whole leading up here is that I think you
Okay.
might have made one of the classic small town blunders, perhaps.
Okay.
And my experience has been, because I love when you travel somewhere and you go stay somewhere
Okay.
small and get a real like vibe for
Let's
yeah, just
name
the
some
environment and
layers.
like not
I'm blocking
necessarily
all
a
of the
big and
layers,
busy
but that's
place, but,
okay.
less hustle and
It's
bustle,
for me more
more
than
of a local
anything.
feel is great.
Mm-hmm,
However, what I've learned, in the Netherlands, in Iceland, a couple of these places, when you go small, is that upon arrival, wherever you're planning to stay, whether it's, Airbnb or anywhere you're crashing, it is mandatory to ask the person you're checking in with, hey, so food, how do we go about this? Right? Because they're the person who can best break down, yeah, by the way, once you're done checking in here, you have 20 minutes to go find a place to eat, because once that's done, we're all shut down. You
right,
know?
right.
And they're the person who can tell you essentially what to expect. And, if you're lucky, they might even be like, oh, yeah, come hang out over here, But I felt like you have to ask the person you're staying with or whoever you're checking in with what the food situation is and how to handle it in a way that won't get you this look of like, you're asking me for dinner now at dinner time? What's wrong with you?
And it was funny because with those 3 women, I could see like one of them was ready to kick me the fuck out of there, and one of them was a bit more like, no, let's hear this idiot out. Like let's give this foreign moron
Yeah.
a chance, you know.
You're a goddamn tourist and you've
Yep.
come off the beaten path, and now we have to deal with it.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
and usually we're here to just do coffee and
Those are all
espressos
named.
for the first,
I did a better job naming some of these than
75%
I
of the shift.
expected.
And then later comes the cooking, you know. Yeah, that's wild. Okay.
That is
Um well, that's cool. Also, like, I the whole like
I
multilingual
didn't spell
linguistic
that
thing,
correctly.
I imagine smaller areas maybe not as much, but in the in the bigger spots, I imagine people are like style switching from German to Italian to French to English to band back and forth, you know.
Yeah, I would say I did try and learn a few little like
Oh,
Italian phrases, like saying,
strange?
"Hey,
Is
I'm
that the
sorry, I don't
word
speak much Italian.
I should use?
Do you speak English?" And those phrases fell out my ass the moment those women looked at me.
There you go. There you go. Nice.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get over there sometime. It'd be really cool. It'd be really cool.
Locarno specifically is just it's just one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. People want, you can go see the view from my
what do I
room
call it?
over at super underscore eyepatch underscore wolf on Instagram. A lot of fun
Shirt,
stuff happen. It's like a
ruffle,
European Silent
shirt,
Hill, Wooly.
shirt.
You you live
What are
in
they
Europe.
called?
What do you like?
I live in fucking Ireland.
Shirt, shirt, shirt. Treads?
Yep.
No.
Good. Yep. Good. How was your week, Wooly? How you been?
Not too bad. Got up to a
Frill.
couple of things.
I'll call it a frill.
I got to participate in hockey's a big
Hits.
thing, as you know.
Wait,
Up
is that
here
actually hit?
in Canada,
No.
and especially
This
in
is waist
Montreal.
being. No, that's hits.
And the
What the
hockey
hell?
teams are,
That's
they're doing
hits.
it. The Habs are in the playoffs and moving along, and that's all nice.
There's nothing on this.
But
Delete that.
I went to a different kind of hockey show, actually.
That's
There was a. Have you heard
lower
of Heated Rivalry by any
sleeve.
chance?
Boy, have I.
Yeah.
Upper
Michelle
sleeve.
is circling that show like
Yeah.
like a crumb circling the drain.
Okay. So Heated Rivalry is popping off right now, and it is,
Sleeves.
the NHL is certainly embracing it,
I need to
as
call
far
that
as I
jacket
understand.
sleeves.
Big hit show on HBO. It's the gay hockey, and
Delve.
the
Art.
Montreal
This thing.
burlesque scene has
Pearls.
decided to take a stab at it and had a show called Very Heated Rivalry, a heated rivalry burlesque show.
That's so sick.
That's cool.
It was fun. It's just like, there's the anytime there's like themed burlesque shows, you always kind of go like, okay, so we're all here to enjoy a good time, a good performance, and
Great.
some very beautiful people hitting those JoJo poses and hitting those angles, but like there's always that like, okay, what's the theme and how are we gonna work it in, and in this case, as you can imagine, hey, guess what, hockey, which has often lots of equipment on and stuff you pull off during fights and so on, is perfect for putting on a show.
Well, this is really the upper.
But I think too as well, like just kind of going into a show
This
like
should be
this,
mid.
the audience. So first of all, we heard that like it's the show that sold out the fastest of every show they've ever put on.
Oh, that's so wild.
At the venue, which is the Wiggle Room, one of the burlesque show venues in Montreal. And yeah, this thing just like immediately like took capacity.
Wow, I did way better naming these than I thought I did.
And like they just went way more slapstick with it too as well. At one point, there was a show that involved like someone watching the show on TV and then someone behind a fake TV screen using puppets, to recreate moments of the show, and then coming through the TV and popcorn getting thrown in the air, and it just it was a good time. And just I want to give a shout out to the Wiggle Room and their
now I'm going to
production. Anytime a good themed burlesque performance pulls it off, I'm always like, kudos, amazing, Good
Mhm.
job.
Now that things are
Lots of fun.
named properly,
I
I should
I
draw
feel,
the monocle
despite having not
and the
watched
horn first.
the show, I can hit you with all the bullet
Whoops.
points and highlights. I I, I feel like an expert. But anyway, it was a great time.
Having not watched that show, I feel like someone just saw Yowie and was like, "What if we just pull this a little more towards the mainstream?" Perfect.
There you go. Absolutely, absolutely. No, like, and the thing is too is because Montreal is one of the locations in the show as well. Um,
They make
in
that bigger,
fact, one of the
actually.
cabin places that they go to is where I stayed with Little V and Reggie, and we did a little Cabin Lords episode. Not a couple years back. It's like really close to that. And it's pretty
I
cool.
might as well make it gold, actually.
But no, what you're describing.
Well, no, I'll
So
leave it like this
as
so
far as
far.
I heard that there's one of the tidbits, one of the facts here is that the NHL is like the only league without any openly gay out of the closet
Flip
players
bucket,
in
and
it,
then I need gold.
right? And it's the only one
Is,
with none, right?
is
And
it?
so you're like,
Is it gold? It is.
interesting. So this is where the setting goes, and
Let me
there's
color
a
sample
whole book series,
instead of
that
picking it,
covers
so I get a better base
multiple
color.
players and seasons and so on. But like essentially by finding that environment where
Here.
this is still like covered up and not fully out there yet, it's like I described it to Reggie as like it's almost like you let the Fujoshi at this league like a bull in a china shop.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, let's go, we are putting pen to paper on this, let's get in there, and they do. So that's a whole lot of fun.
Like
Did you see that interview going around of the hockey player, and he's asked a question like this, and it starts off him being like, "Well, I think there's no openly gay people because, hockey is fighting." And then the interviewer is like, "Okay, so anyway, your current scoring," and then he's like, "Oh, how come you're not gonna wait? So are you not gonna make fun of me for being you're not gonna make some gay joke or something?" And the interviewer is like, "Uh, what?" And he's like, "Oh, I mean, because like the stuff I've seen in the locker room, and I thought you were gonna." And the interviewer is just completely not biting at all, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I could tell." It's like, what?
Moving on, yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Now I have to
That
draw
could
the
actually, now that I think
horn.
about it, I don't think it was. That could literally be a clip from that show.
okay, I possibly, but yeah, that is hilarious.
Let's see.
Um,
Where is it? There it
other
is.
things going on
Reference
as well.
sheet.
Yeah, I a couple.
Blessed
Have
be.
you seen the
reference sheet.
the new Star Fox?
Whoa.
Yes, I have.
Why was it so
There
perfectly
is some
centered?
discourse.
What the hell?
Can I
How'd,
say one
how'd
thing?
I do that?
I have seen, and look, sometimes when
It's a little
furries
off,
get
but it's
referred to in general,
practically
there's like a
perfect.
negative connotation on it. Zero negative connotation here. But I do want to call the furry community out a little bit, because I've seen a lot of the furry community be like, this fox is not hot, this fox is not fuckable, I am not happy. I've seen what you guys do to King K. Rool. Okay? You fucking telling me? Are you fucking telling me that this isn't gonna get play in the not safe for work furry space?
This
Get the fuck out of here!
is the Star Fox Smash or Pass reboot. Listen, let's be real. I love the way they look. I love the designs.
Oh, they look like janky puppets. I'm happy.
I think it looks like it's like The
No, this is gonna be complicated because I've never had to draw
it feels like
a
we're kind of going
horn
back to that. It's kind of what I
before.
wanted over the years.
Like the layering for it
and
is something
I
new
think
to
the legs are
me.
interesting. I think they look cool. I like the proportions going on. It doesn't have to be full on humanoid with that. And I think the lighting
it reminds me of like Detective
renders.
Pikachu ugliness.
Sure, okay.
In a way that it's good.
Yeah, I think I think the lighting of the renders, looks a lot better than like some of the in-game stuff as well, and it's more clear what they're going for with the style. You know, I know that some of the Falco changes some people were not happy about, but I'm like, no, I think this looks great. I'm super down for it. More to the point, though, have you seen Star Wolf?
Yes, I have.
Yo, I mean, come on,
What?
Star Wolf and the
What?
whole crew. They look
Is it?
incredible in this style.
They look very, very, very fucking cool. I did have a
Right?
moment where I saw Star Wolf, and I was like, oh, that's right. My entire fucking career is.
Your whole thing, you know? And then Pigma, you know, looking all
Okay.
like just strung
Now I
out,
gotta turn off
high and
that.
on looking for the next re-up, you know?
Yep.
Andrew, who looks better than you. Like, I love what they're doing there. And then, of
Fox
course,
McCloud's dad being Fox McCloud with
James.
sunglasses is fucking brilliant.
Not just sunglasses, the aviators, right?
Yep.
The full-on Top Gun energy coming off of James McCloud is phenomenal. I really like that. And it's so funny because I couldn't I had to have a moment of going like this is the most the character designs have ever mattered in a game where the characters are not on screen in gameplay at all. They're just
Mhm.
little comm windows. They're not a part of the actual gameplay. It's a shoot, playing, pew, pew, pew game. But we care so much about the idea of what's happening behind the shoot and pew,
So
pew.
I remember I listened to an interview, and it was between Jeff Gersman and one of the designers behind this game, and he talked about how they would be sending all their design docs to Miyamoto through fax,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just building a 3D space fighting game. That's what they were doing. And then at one point, Miyamoto, they just got through the fax machine a little picture of a fox, a toad, and a rabbit. And it just said,
Oh,
your characters.
I know what the problem is. I
And they
adjusted
wrote it
my
back to
screen so
Slaughter's
it's standing
box,
up.
kind of being like, I
I
think
was
in
like,
their
why is
heads
this
this was
so
meant to be more
difficult to
like a
get
Star
correct?
Wars
Why are my
theme, you know?
Yeah.
And they kind of
lines
sent
so
back
weird?
this thing being
It's
like, we
because
don't
my
really feel
freaking
like that's
tablet's
kind of
standing all the way up.
part of the vision we're going for here. And they just
There
got
we
back,
go.
they wrote this big
That's
long
better.
thing, and they got back a one-word sentence. You are not your audience.
Wow. Wow. I didn't hear about that. That's crazy. Okay. I
If
mean,
people want
look,
the source for that, it's in the old Giant Bomb feed, circa fucking 2018, 2019. It went up in December, and it's like an end of year interview between
Let's
Jeff
see.
Gersman and this guy. Fascinating interview. Really,
wow.
really good.
I mean, it just feels so strange because, like, it does, you know, the other thing about it is that this is the, like, fourth and some say technically fifth remake of Star Fox, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
64 and then there was 3DS and then Zero.
Never has a series been so completely unable to build momentum past a single game.
Yeah, and there are entries, obviously. You know, Command has all those crazy what ifs, and then Adventures and
Mhm.
Assault, you know, go into the
Mhm.
future. But I think the idea is it felt as if like the previous times they'd bring it back, there was perhaps almost like an internal feeling of like it can't just be pew 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 roll and shoot game. We have to innovate because Nintendo wants to change something about. And I think people are like, no, it was fun. We just want to shoot and roll. You know, we just want to pew pew. And I think that they finally are maybe accepting that because last time it was like, no, it's got to be the controls that everyone's hating, or it's got to be the command. And there's always a gimmick to it that they want to change up the flow of things, and this time it seems to be like it's straightforward. So
Hmm.
yeah, hopefully this sets the base and then they can move forward from this point.
Yeah, I would love to see them like take the format of like Star Fox 64 or Lilac Wars is known here. I would love to see like the whole kind of cause and effect route through that thing. And I'd love to have it as like three different galaxies, and your choices in one galaxy affect your choice in the next. Like I think something like that.
That's
But
awesome. Yeah,
that could be
that's
really cool.
my hope. What I was saying is maybe just a new game plus campaign where you have a whole new like future thing that we had that's brand new to the game that we had, you know what I mean? Like you're like, hey, you're making the old game, you're remaking it, let's add a whole new campaign to it, you know?
Give
But
me my
at the
Star Wolf rival fight,
campaign, yes, I have absolutely.
one on
But at
one.
but at the bare minimum, it's like, yo, if we are gonna remake a game, we're remaking one of the best of all time. So,
So, do you know what I was
you
thinking
know,
about, Wooly? And this only really dawned on me today. But imagine being
Mhm.
Nintendo in the late '90s, and for the first time, transferring your three biggest series to 3D, and the outcome
I'm
of
trying
that
to
was
brain
Mario
how
64, Ocarina
the
of Time,
horns
and
should
Star Fox 64.
turn into each other.
mhm,
That
mhm.
is fucking insane. Like,
Ridiculous.
that is a unfathomable design feat.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can argue this the FX chip with Star Fox back in the day was already 3D-ish, but they made the standout like video game
Time to 3D
giants,
model it
you know,
Yeah,
first.
with
and I would
those
say that like
No,
that is true if you're
no.
okay with playing a game that is 6 frames per second.
yeah,
Have I been
sure.
drawing in the wrong color this
I
whole
feel
time?
like everything that was essentially the original
Why is
cast
it
of
suddenly
Smash
so
Brothers is kind of
much
like what's
stronger?
being returned to, you know, and
Hmm.
it's like let's give all of these a
Weird.
proper new entry and bring them back and such.
Man,
So,
they're gonna have to change Fox's fighting style for the next Smash.
well, I mean, the
That
Smash
guy ain't moving quick, Wooly.
the Smash look is what kind of like sent it down the alternate pathway that everyone
Hmm.
kind of got used to, you know. So, um, anyway, I thought that was super cool, and I guess in a similar vein, speaking of like returning to the original art style, that new Ghost in the Shell has me giddy.
Hmm.
I am
Have not seen this.
the new it's called The Ghost in the Shell, right?
Oh,
As you
this
do
is
with
one.
most reboots, you add the
Mm,
right. There's a
mm.
new trailer that dropped for it's in fact there's been two or three of them so far. And I am incredibly excited for this because that's a franchise that's been phenomenal and awesome, and I love the original
Maybe I should go
Masahune
from the
Shirai
bottom to the
comics,
top.
and I of course love the
I think that will
Mamoru
be
Oshii
better.
movie and movies and Standalone Complex. All these different iterations of it are phenomenal. Um, but this is the first time that it is returning to the original art style and the original tone as well. Um, I don't know if you've ever had a chance to check out the
Oh,
original
you gotta
manga.
turn the
Never checked out the original manga. Watched
the
the two
symmetry
movies.
back
Watched
on.
Standalone Complex.
Yeah.
Have wanted to go back to Standalone Complex for a while.
Okay.
You get a straight line.
So the original Ghost in the Shell manga
Turn off.
is just
Turn off,
as in
please.
depth
Thank you.
with the transhumanism and a lot of the philosophy and all of the cyberpunk and
Oops.
the tech stuff is amazing. But the
Whoop.
tone of it is
More than that.
way goofier. There's a lot more lighthearted, silly moments, and the major is way more of a just bisexual disaster gremlin. You know, like she is pure goofball energy at times, and
I did not know that at all.
it's really silly.
And I can
And
see that in the art style here. It's
yeah,
crazy looking.
yeah, Saru and Togusa and Bato, a lot of those characters are way goofier. Like silly face Bato with the goofy eyes is a thing that
Mm-hmm.
happens in the background panels at moments, and you know, and I think so. What happened is because that 1996 movie was so fucking phenomenal, because Oshii crushed it. Everyone got introduced to the world of this sci-fi series, and they were introduced to a serious interpretation of it, which is excellent in its own right. But it meant that it was never lighthearted again after that because we
Mm,
branched to a different pathway, you know?
for sure.
So I think a lot of people are going to be surprised with just like how much the tone shifts, but still adheres to the purity of at least the material and again getting into the transhumanist elements of it. You know, very
That
excited
looks
for this.
super, super sick. Um, Wooly, I
Yeah,
recently got hit
that's
with one
better.
of my favorite TV shows in years. Two even. Um, I've been watching Common Side Effects. Have you heard of this?
Oh, I saw a trailer for that on Adult Swim when I was in America some time ago. I didn't know what it was, but I just saw the trailer that it was like either a new
From the
season of it or
studio
something.
behind Scavenger's Reign.
Yes, yes, yes.
And great show. Basically, weird animated Breaking Bad like. That's what it feels like. It's exactly as good as you hope it will be. Gorgeous animation, really, really fun show. Really, really enjoy it. Want to go deeper on it at some point in the future when I've kind of watched more.
Mm.
But I have been watching a TV show that I am so excited when a new episode is out, and it's so specifically it's a John TV show. It's called Widow's Bay.
What is that?
Widow's Bay is an Apple TV show, and there's this island, and
I think
the
this was
mayor
actually supposed to be
wants to
lower.
turn it into a tourist destination.
Because logically,
shits
it's
up
coming from the same
something about
spot
this
this is, but
island
it was
is
not
kind of
supposed to
fucked,
be.
and
Okay.
we don't know what it is. And the first episode's good. It's kind of it. The first episode is like a parody of Jaws, because the thing about this show, it's not a horror show; it's a horror comedy, and it is both very funny and quite like creepy, like genuinely unnerving. So I think like the point I fell in love with it was in the second episode, and it's when a lot of the locals basically say to this mayor, "Okay, if there's nothing wrong with the inn, spend a night there by yourself." And he's like, "Okay." And then the owner of the inn is like, "Yeah, this is ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with this inn, and there's definitely nothing wrong with the presidential suite." And he kind of just looks at him. He's like, "Huh?" And then he's like, yeah." And so they go up to the presidential suite, and the owner of the inn is like, "Yeah, as you can see, it's a perfectly normal room. Just people are weird about this for no reason." And the mayor looks at him and he's like, "Are you not gonna take my bags into the room?" And the owner of the inn puts his foot on the bag and just kicks them into the room because he won't go in. And it's like, oh shit, okay, this is interesting. And so like the mayor spends the night in this inn, and he finds a bunch of board games, and he gets one, and it's just called Tooth. And he opens it, and there's just a pair of pliers inside.
Ooh.
And then he opens up another, and it's just called Run. And it's just like a deck of cards, and he turns one over, and it just says not yet. And he turns another over, and it says not yet, not yet, now. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And what unfolds over the course of this episode is like a really funny and weird haunted house story. And I was like, that was like, I don't want to give away too much of it, but like it's just
This one needs to be a little further
all
out.
the actors are killing it. Like everyone's doing like a really, really good job. The cinematography is great. It's directed by Hiro Murai, who did a bunch of like Atlanta and a bunch of other stuff. And it just looks great. It's got a great atmosphere. But I got to the end of that episode, and I was like, I feel like I just watched the best episode of this, and it was episode 2. And it sucks when like a show kind of gives you the best up front, and it's like, how do they top that?
Wow.
The next 2 episodes exactly as good. Exactly. And like there's moments where it's like really sad, there's moments where it's really funny, there's moments where it's really like genuinely like fucking spooky as shit. And I love this show, Wooly. Like there's bits of Twin Peaks in there, there's bits of The Shining in there. It's just it's
Oh my god.
so good. And
the number of
I've been
layers
having
this horn is
such a
going to have is
blast with
about
it.
as many as the
Just looking
braid.
at the marketing here, the poster choice of font and overall like framing of the images look like they're absolutely harkening back to 80s, as you mentioned, Jaws, but this looks like it's straight out of that era, even late 70s. Like, is that the vibe that the show is shot with as well?
Yeah, there is a kind of timeless quality to it. I think it's one of those shows that's doing one of my favorite things, where it's not nailing down the time period super hard. You know, there's it follows softness to when this might be set.
Okay.
And oh god, I love it so much. Like a new episode came out yesterday, and literally all day I was like to Michelle, we're gonna watch Widow's Bay tonight. Gonna watch Widow's Bay. And then the episode was about this woman from the town who nobody really likes trying to set up this like dance. And the whole episode is like this knife edge of like, oh, you want it to go well for her because she's doing her best and she's trying hard. But then this book that she's like following step by step, like it's like a 70s how to throw a party book. Something's not right with this book, and like the way it pays off, fucking incredible. Like it's such a joy of a show, and I'm so happy it exists. And it's been a while since a TV show got me like this excited.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Let me make note of that. Widow's
I
Bay.
think even if you're not into the horror side of it, everything about it is just like hitting off like in just the right way that you're still gonna have a good time. Like it's such a funny show, and a lot of that is just like the actors are just great. Like they're really really good.
I feel like the last time I felt like this is a show for me and I can't wait to watch every episode is Black Mirror. I I I adore that show. And there's misses at this point. And it's been many seasons and they're not all hits, but I will say that like there was a point where every single one was just like crushing it to me.
I always remember, like, I don't think I have ever been as blown away by a first episode as the first episode of Black Mirror. Like, just
What are you
the
going for here?
fuck?
Thesis
yeah.
statement. Cool.
Totally.
All right.
Wooly.
Shall yes.
I've been playing a bit of that them there Mugenics.
Eugenics.
Um,
That's
Some games like you spend time with, and some games take you fucking hostage. This game is a problem.
Yep. Yep.
Mugenics.
Me and Michelle haven't had the talk. We're getting
I
close.
still haven't
Oh,
really
boy.
watched anyone
Oh,
even play
boy.
it.
Yeah, at some point when I'm going through like fucking 2 stories of what might have been, I think like 30 cats, or I am locked the fuck in. How has your journey been? How far did you get? What's going on?
So just hit credits on chapter 2.
Cool. Okay.
And said, okay, I'm done. Don't need to play any more of this, in the exact same way I did at the end of chapter 1. And this fucking game, dude. Oh, just
Yeah.
when you stumble into your first broken build and you see what's possible, it's just such a high. I got this
Yep.
build, and it's like, it was a hunter. So for people who don't know, this is like a turn-based roguelite Final Fantasy Tactics cat game,
Mhm.
where every run you are breeding cats together and, like, you know, developing their like giving them different stats and all this kind of stuff, and then you give them different classes based on what they could do, and then you go through this weird fucked up world. It's from Ed, blanking on his name,
Macmillan.
of Binding of Isaac fame.
Ed McMillan, yeah.
And Binding of Isaac is probably the
No.
game I have
Oh
put
god,
the most
I
hours
pushed
into on
the
this
wrong
earth.
thing. There we go.
And so I should have known. I should have known it was going to be
Yep.
bad with Mugenics, and it is. It's real bad.
I put stupid hours into Legend of Bumbo, so right there with you, you know.
But I guess, but like when you start to like combine Cat's abilities and start to like figure out how the classes work, I got this one class, and it was a hunter, but I got this ability where all my rather than doing like one projectile to one tile, it was like
that the
9
form?
projectiles,
Or-
but they all did 1 damage.
Mhm.
But then I got another ability where I was able to increase the damage, and then another ability where every time I hit an empty tile, it would spawn a bear trap. So I would literally shoot an enemy and surround them with like 8 bear traps. And then I got another ability. Every time an enemy triggers a bear trap, I reload my shot.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
just
yeah.
melted every map I was on, and it felt
Mhm.
fucking incredible. It's a problem, dude.
Yeah.
I need to play other things so I have interesting things to say about video games.
The steamroll builds, though, and just like Isaac, right? Like once you,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you start to feel a little bit of what that's like, and that's what hooks you in. It's been a while since I've booted it up, admittedly, but that was it. I got to Act 3, and kind of took a break from it. Um, I remember some of the things I got that was just like busted. I was sticking with was a healer
Mm,
that
the left side's too fat.
can throw
Well,
a shield and health on the ground and then walk and go pick it up for themselves. But they also have a trait that any buffs they apply to themselves apply to the whole team. So that
Oh, wow.
healer hangs back and just spends every turn putting shields and health on the rest of the team, you know? Um a an item that I have on one of my like melee characters that is moving around where they can uh take mind control of whatever of one enemy per fight.
didn't
And
already
when
do
an
this
enemy
part.
gets mind controlled, they're playable on your team, but if they survive, they move on to the next fight with you. Right? So you just build an army rolling through every mission, and at some point you come across a like the giant sharks that just one shot whatever they eat, and
Mm-hmm.
then you unleash that on the boss and game, you know? These little things that are just like possible when the builds start just being, they break right in the perfect way. Um, and then the other thing too, I'm sure you've been hitting is like those theme songs when you hit the bosses. Come on.
So one of my biggest joys in games is a boss singing at you.
Yep, yep.
I
When the
love it.
vocals drop.
Ever since, and it's not. This isn't even like a different thing. Hulk Davidson, Beautiful Joe, just
Yeah,
listening to
okay,
his
okay.
like just that's so good. There's a friend of mine. He writes a series called Ghost Hunters Adventurers Club.
Okay.
He's done a lot of work with Aaron and the Game Grumps and them. And there's a bit in one of his books where the villain just gets up on stage and sings a song about how she's going to fuck up the heroes. And if you listen to the audiobook, they've recorded the full song. That is always going to be my shit. Just
Yeah,
it's the like
yeah.
if we get to
I-
the end of this podcast, Wooly, and I have not sang a ballad of your destruction, I fucked up. I fucked up.
Oh man, I mean, like
Yeah, that's
for
better.
me, so Revengeance will
More
always
even.
stand out as like one of the moments where
Ugh.
boss fight
I was
and
trying to zoom up.
music and everything come together at peak video games. You know,
Yep.
Rules of Nature is a big meme and a moment for a reason. And
How do I
like
name this? This is
for me
bass.
especially is like there's that extra layer of it's a song you're
This
familiar with,
is
and then you add a layer of lyrics to it. Those are my favorite moments in video
back
games.
right.
Those are the peaks to me. So Disco Elysium, right? That boat ride, Disco Inferno is just such a good
This
feeling having it
is
all come together in that moment. And this is a silly little cat
and
tactics nonsense game, but there's just something about hitting after you're struggling your way back
this
up to this
is
boss and hitting somewhere beyond the moon. I'm gonna reach the stars someday, and you're like,
let me
oh
see if I can
fuck, it's
actually get
kicking
it
in,
to
it's
curve
hitting,
more like I
and you're
want it
struggling
to.
to survive, and it's a crescendo for everything.
Completely.
Where's that smell
Completely.
coming from? All
Where's
that
that smell coming from?
right? All
And
of
it's
those
such
songs,
good music as well. Like it's
great.
very silly and it's very funny. Fucking masters wrote these songs. Like they're
Yeah,
incredible.
no, it was so like I was kind of like chuckling to myself with some of these songs, but it was when I first heard Feline Invader, right? That's
Is
the
that Guillotina?
Alien Crater, Feline Invader, Alien Crater,
Oh yeah.
right? That theme, I was like, this OST
Much
is one
better.
of the best. This is going on an
Okay.
all-time list.
Mm-hmm.
They're it's such
I
good
think that's
music,
everything now.
and it just builds and builds, and then you
No,
get to
I
hear
didn't do
it
the
later
chain.
on in the cat house. There's some items too that like. Have you come
This
across the
actually,
soul jar?
this need
I
to.
don't think so.
There's so
This.
many items you might not have. Okay, so I caught that, and you know what I was just saying about like the mind control like
Yeah.
thing. So I did that. I mind controlled that I had a daddy shark, right, that would just eat things in one shot and go. The character that I had with that, I also gave them an item called the soul jar, and the soul jar is when this character dies, whatever their character is, whatever's on them, everything they are gets save stated as a soul put into an item that is a jar that you can then spit that character back out in future runs.
Whoa. That's interesting.
So I had a jar that would release the cat's ghost that had the mind control device.
Oh my god.
The
Okay, that's
levels and layers are just insane, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sometimes like I do find it a little frustrating, especially like I'm at the lab now, and I don't know if you took any tries at the lab.
I think like one quick and then I backed out. Yeah.
You really like need to have your shit together immediately with the lab. And like I've had this a couple of times where sometimes I just roll a team and it just the synergy isn't there
Mhm,
and I
mhm,
just get
mhm,
stomped.
mhm,
And
mhm.
that can be a bit frustrating sometimes, especially it's like, okay, this team was a bit weak and then something happened in one of the fights. And like maybe if I had more skill I could avoid it. But it is just like occasionally I kind of die and I'm like, don't know if I could have done too much there, that kind of way.
Yeah,
But
when you have
that's roguelites, right?
sometimes you have teams with bad synergy and you just send them out to get some resources and experience and come back and such. Other times you build a team where you're like, this is not even about the adventure. It's about having you ready for the defense for
Mhm.
for Tina, for example.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think too, like one of the things that I will say that like was getting frustrating for me with it was part of the experience is kind of meant to simulate the idea of like I have too many cats in this house, I'm a hoarder, where's that cat I'm looking for, just throwing them out of the way to find, here you are. But like as a result, just navigating through to find the cat you want really gets like just, oh my god, there's just it's so annoying to using the UI to click on the right cat and
Mhm.
clearing off the poop and all that stuff is just, I think it's kind of a deliberate choice, but it is grating in the ways that are like, I've done a couple hours of this, I get it, I kind of
Sure,
want to just
sure. Yeah,
shortcut
yeah.
click on the things I want. Cool, cool, cool. uh yeah, I was hoping to take the opportunity to remind people of, you know what, now that this is dropping, I don't know where we are in time. We're at the end of the month, and you might only have 24 or 48 hours left. I'm not sure to get Reggie.
So, Wooly, do you mind if I say a few words here?
Please.
If you own a Woolly plush and you do not get a Reggie plush, that Woolly plush is a complete fucking waste. Would you agree, Wooly?
I mean, it's incomplete. It is not
No, no, no,
what
no, Wooly, don't be modest about the Reggie plush. There's no fucking point having just a Woolly plush. That is ridiculous. That's like having one of the seven dwarfs without any of the others. It's
just throw it out.
why? I absolutely throw it out. I would say even like if your Woolly plush is sitting there on your desk, getting fucking tired of looking at it, just throw it out anyway. It doesn't matter because like yeah, gone. Because like the Woolly plush and like Wooly, just being real here, okay? Just some criticism here from like we both make merch, we both kind of have thoughts. The Woolly plush by itself does not work. Now the Reggie plush by itself works. I would say I'd say that's a standalone piece right there, my friend.
That is
I think
Mhm.
it took you. You made your pancake. You had a
Right.
pass at merch. You
Right.
based it on yourself. Not the best choice. But now you got it right with the Reggie plush, and it's fucking great.
And here's the best part. Hold on. Here's the best part.
I don't think he's coming back. Oh, no, okay.
The best part is when you combine the power of the Woolly plush, which you already have, with the Reggie plush, which you are getting. You have the ability to fit both of them on the official stand.
That's not what that is.
The official stand.
That's not what that is.
The Bizarre World of Video Games is the official stand for both plushes.
You're going to make me fucking do it.
There's room. Notice how big the book is. You notice that there was room for both. This was planned from the jump. Honestly,
that is not.
And John, And John, I want to say thank you. The plan worked. Right? Because this was initially what you had. This was it. And you're like, that's a whole lot of empty space. What are you going to do with that space? Bam. Look at that. Both fit right on the book. The official stand of the plushes. And just an incredible collaboration effort between Eye Patch Wolf and Woolly Versus. Good stuff. You know?
Am I doing earrings?
And we're standing.
Should I do a cool earring? If I am, I'm gonna do it now. I gotta do it now if I'm gonna do it.
So yeah, available now.
It's probably too much with the addition of the
there
chain.
You go.
Honestly,
I
I didn't actually finish the monocle.
Listen, right? what you the viewer needs to do is stand up
What the hell?
Run, don't walk to the Makeshift website and order your Reggie in the Lab plush. It is only available for the month of May, and then it'll be gone forever unless some crazy gangbusters lightning strikes. But
okay, look, the Bizarre World of Fake Video Games is back in stock. That's not what it's for, HoloPress.net, but that's
coincidence. I think not.
Okay.
All right.
We got anything else we wanna brief the people on here, Wooly?
Well, we also want to let them know that you may or may not have seen an update over on the lounge, the intermission lounge, aka patreon.com/versuswolves-podcast. Where
Let's just say that the old Apollo showdown and Trevier again.
It's Trev. God damn it!
Look. You're the one who picked the fucking weird name that I can't pronounce or remember, and now I'm the fucking problem, Wooly.
You just went to a place that speaks 5 languages. For the love of God!
Can this desk go any higher? Can
we get much higher? Wow! Away we go. All right. Listen. For folks who have been eagerly anticipating the next Versus Wolves Lancer, hey, guess what? That shit has either already dropped or is about to.
It should be there, but it might be just about to be there.
It might just be there.
Episode 2, the saga continues.
Wu-Tang. Let's go.
Okay. I was genuinely worried that we wouldn't be able to top that first episode, because personally, I thought that episode was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
I don't like to hyperbolize, and I don't like to hype things up too much, but yeah, the section was fucking great.
It was so good.
Section ruled. So Versus Wolf Lancer Session 2 it's back.
As always, thanks to Tom for being a part of our bullshit for some fucking reason.
For creating the game.
You need to remember to add a triangle.
Blessing us with his time to sit down and play it with us.
Yeah.
Insane when you put it out.
God
like
tier.
Outside of the nose.
Just the best time.
The best, yes. So keep an eye out for that. Or go check it out now.
Okay.
Wooly, I wanted to give people a little update on my eye patch situation here.
What is the
Um,
latest?
so I got some good news and I got some bad news. So number one, good news. This is not a brain thing. I had full on brain scans, all clear. They said there's nothing wrong with my brain that wasn't already wrong. So awesome.
That's
Um,
a way to put it.
yep. Um, bad news is I have no answers as to what's going on. And so eyeball is seems fine. Mechanics behind the eye seem fine. Brain seems fine. Vision still deteriorating. So the vision has unfortunately got a little bit worse. And look, it is what it is. I've kind of made my peace with it. It's all right. But just to say all this to say, eye patch probably not going to be going anywhere for a little bit. Look, it's cool. Like when you go through a couple of weeks being like, I sure hope I don't have a brain tumor, you can take the fucked vision in one eye. So just want to get that out there, update people. Yeah, thanks to everyone for like the kind messages and whatnot.
Yeah, no, thanks for the update. I think that's a honestly, it's not a good news bad news situation. That is a tremendous news to
I agree.
I will skip the notes for
situation.
now.
That is really really good to hear.
That
So,
way I don't have to worry about it.
got it. I mean, again, as I said, accessories all the rage.
You know, okay. I said said a couple episodes ago that if you see me turning up in fancy eye patches, things probably aren't great. Things are fine. And I am now looking into fancy eye patches.
There you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get
But
stylish.
is there anything else we want to cover here, Wooly, before we move along?
We can take a question from the lounge.
I'm gonna skip
Let's
the
do it.
question.
All right.
We got Deluxen here.
Let's do it.
So, Wooly, with your
I
recommend
was
this
gonna
month,
skip the Simpsons section.
I look forward
Here.
to the future.
Simpsons.
We don't like looking back, after all.
No.
Looking back is, hey, God told Lot's wife, hey, don't do that. And she was like, what? Pillar assault.
Pillar assault. I don't want to be a pillar assault.
You don't want to be a pillar assault. So then I agree with you. We got no time to look back. Forward.
Always forward. Do you want to
Forward
talk
always.
about this cartoon show from 1999?
Ed, and Eddie.
Wooly,
Why did you recommend me Ed, and Eddie?
I have to go with the classic question. I have to, like, more so than anything. Why?
Everyone was.
What
I
happened?
saw so many people get so confused by this. It's not that complicated. It's really simple.
This actually needs to go
I
below that.
remember the era of Ed, and Eddie on TV, and I remember there were other shows at the time, and there's a lot of shows that were kind of wacky and fun and silly, and they kind of came and went, and people never talked about them again. Santo Bogito. Or there were shows that hit that were like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that was weird. Real Monsters. You got a vague recollection of it or so.
Real Monsters. I'd put that a little bit. I'd say your cat dog is a kind of
Sure.
Yeah. Real Monsters did something.
Yeah. But then there was ones, and there were ones, and again, you love these cartoons. These are fun to watch as a kid. But it just was like, this is out of nowhere coming back around, and I'm just starting to see it online get posted in meme form, and just things are showing up and people are talking about it a bit more, and it was just like, why is that? And like why no Real Monsters memes? Why no Santo Bogito memes? Right? What specifically about Ed and Eddie made it come back? Because it was just again kind of out of nowhere, and I have some theories about it. I was a bit curious, but I thought that you could do some digging on that. But also, realistically, this is a great excuse to just talk about Ed, Ed, and Eddie and the fun cartoon that it was as well. You know?
So I never
I
watched
used
Ed,
to
Ed, and
watch
Eddie,
Ed,
but
and Eddie
Great.
all the time.
Even
I
better
don't
as
think
a
I ever
fresh
watched a
recommend.
single episode.
There you go.
And
Did
I
you-
tried to think about why didn't I watch it? Because it was on television. It played a lot,
Mhm.
but I never checked it out. And I think there's two reasons for that.
I guess
Number
I can't
one,
really do mouth yet.
I found the look of the show. Three reasons. I found the look of the show kind of off-putting. This is a kind of ugly, big asterisks show.
Yes.
Number two, I did not like Eddie.
Eddie specifically.
I have a mistrust of people who wear polo shirts. I think polo shirts are cursed garments. I will never wear one. I've never worn one. I will never wear one. I think they're disgusting. And number three, I was hitting the age where I had discovered CNX, which would later become Toonami in Europe.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was watching motherfucking Outlaw Star,
Anime.
and you want to bring this Cartoon Network shit to me?
Yeah. I mean, what I will say is, as far as dislike of Eddie goes, like, yeah, Eddie he's a Disco Elysium libertarian. Right?
Yeah.
Cartoonish to the ends on it. But the show itself is it is an old school cartoon of the 10-minute, here's artwork for every episode up front, Warner Brothers, Ren and Stimpy, like all these types of cartoons. It is a cartoon. Animators are paying homage to the things they grew up with this style of extreme ugly characters with stretch and squash and everything historical about the medium being used.
Mm-hmm.
But you had access to it, but just didn't go its way.
Never watched. Like, I don't think I ever watched a single episode of it. And so I had to go into this like kind of very like just blank slate, just like, okay, first thing I need to do is figure out like what has this show going for it, because there's two parts to your kind of problem you presented me here with, Wooly. Number one was I had to understand this show, and number two, I had to figure out why this show is coming back. Like, maybe even coming back isn't the right word. Maybe refusing to die is a word. Because it's still kind of around. And I have encountered that myself. And I've always just been like, really? Like, that show? So, Ed, Ed, and Eddie is a Cartoon Network show directed by Danny Antonucci. And he did some TV shows before Ed and Eddie that were very, like, violent, very, I'm going to say, Ren and Stimpy adjacent. And, like, real, like, characters cutting off their own arms and just, like, adult animation kind of stuff. And you can definitely feel that bleeding through in Ed, Ed, and Eddie. There's, like, some I was surprised how adult some of the jokes were. Like, there's a bit where the Ed, Ed, and Eddie hide under Eddie's bed, and there's a bunch of magazines with names like Jiggle Jiggle, and a bunch of balled up tissues under there.
Right.
And so, I was watching it, and so you have Ed, which is with one D, and you have Ed with two Ds, or as he's known, Double D. And then you have Eddie, who is the previously mentioned libertarian kind of used car salesman of the group. And so Ed, single D, is this kind of affable moron character where he is so stupid he is barely registering as human in a lot of these scenes. He is more this like kind of force of nature, very like, oh, I didn't know this kind of like, that character.
Wacko.
Um Wacko, yeah. Ed Double D is the smart one. He is the like, inventor. He's very learned. He's very, intelligent. And then Eddie is the kind of sort of leader of the group. His schemes, his desire to get rich are kind of like driving a lot of the plot. And so from that, you have these three characters, and it all, or most of it, takes place in the cul-de-sac of Peach Creek. And the cul-de-sac is this area occupied by, depending on how you want to count it, 9 other characters, 9 other kids. And there's a little bit of variable because there's another character called Plank, who is just a plank of wood, and there is also a pig character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just about the kids getting into hijinks. In one episode, the Eds sell turkey basters, and it becomes a western. In another, Ed Single D puts on a monster costume and starts to think he's a monster.
In my opinion, potentially the best episode of the show.
Interesting. Okay.
The day the Ed stood still. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so like I'm watching it and I'm kind of like, yeah, this is basically what I expected. The characters feel pretty standard. Like you basically have the 4 Ninja Turtles, except Raphael and Leonardo have been combined into one turtle. And it's just, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm not having a bad time with the show, but yeah, it kind of feels like what I expected of this show. And I'm watching, and as I do, there are some things about the show that start to stand out. And number one is like, yeah, my impressions of the characters was right, because like, they're pretty like cookie cutter kind of archetypes, but you start to like notice something about those things about them. Like say Ed is like the dumb one, but he is also like, he's kind of got the soul of a poet, and so he will be saying his
That's a
dumb
good way to
ramblings,
describe it.
and then all of a sudden the way he puts things will be very poetic for a moment, and then he'll kind of go back to being dumb. As well as that, he kind of has this like cosmic affection for the universe around him. Like he is constantly overjoyed with the world he finds himself in.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like there's more going on here than this is a dum-dum. Like there's a charm to this character.
I think the funnest thing about Ed in particular is the parts where, as the insane, wacky, dumb character, he has what is basically Warhammer orc style magical abilities.
Yes, he's kind of magical. Like,
And
he can kind of just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, which apparently are not just limited to orcs in Warhammer. Other people who believe in things can make things happen, by the way. But his ability to go into his own universe, his Inland Empire stat is so high that when he believes that he's playing a monster and he dresses up as one, he actually becomes a kaiju level threat to the cul-de-sac that everyone has to worry about because he's so in the zone.
Then you have Double D, the smart one. And what you start to realize very quickly about Double D is like sensitive and nice, but he's kind of the conscience of the group as well. Like he doesn't want to hurt anyone. He doesn't want to like, upset anyone. He's very much about like keeping the peace and doing the right thing, and that often brings him into conflict with Eddie, whose schemes are what are like propelling the cast forward. But like Double D to me ended up being this real standout of the show, where by the end of it, like, he's like sensitive and introverted, but still presented as like this really fun and interesting like character,
Eyebrows
and
cute.
just
Yeah.
not really
Yeah.
like another character I
Little
think I've encountered
little
in a kids show.
teardrop
And as
style.
I would learn, and we will get to
I
this,
like
there is a
the really
massive
fat
fandom
style
for
eyebrows
Double D
on
from a
Yeah.
couple of
stuff.
different directions.
So I wanted
He
something
tends
similar.
to be the
Like
favorite among people.
Yeah.
And
similar to I guess the
specifically
Japanese
girls.
style,
So
like the small
when Michelle
circles,
asked me like
but I
what you
wanted
had
more
recommended
shape
me, I was
too.
like, oh, Ed, Ed, and Eddie. And
Just a
her
little bit of
eyes light up, and
thickness,
she's like, I love Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
but still a
And
cool
like,
shape.
this is my wife of 20 years. We have never had a conversation, and I'm like, what?
That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
and she's like, yeah, no, Ed and Eddie's great. And then she's like, Double D, he's like the best. And I'm like,
Yeah.
the smart one? And it's like, okay, there's more going on here.
Double D is my
Whatever.
favorite. Absolutely.
Double D is my favorite. He's brilliant.
He's neurotic, and he's got to label things to
And he
to
gets
feel
really
comfortable.
nervous around the girls he likes. And just he's so good.
And like
then-
he gets strung along to the point where he won't stand up for himself even, but
No.
he's still going to give into the temptation of the jawbreaker.
Yeah.
You know, when the time
Yeah.
comes.
And so like with Ed and Double D, then it's like they're both way more likable than I think they, in a way that like it's very difficult to get a beat on them from one episode. And I think that's a consistent thing with this show. This show has stuff going on that you're not going to be able to get from any one episode. Then we get to Eddie. And I struggled to like Eddie in a bunch of instances because he's such a fucking asshole
Ed
and
boy.
he just wants to get rich. But then there's this one episode I'm watching, and
That's like a forever like
it's
sound in my
talking
head.
about, like, the
Honestly, all
scandals.
of the Ed,
Like,
Ed and Eddie
it's scandals.
sounds,
He's always
Yeah.
coming up with
all
a
the
new scandal.
lines,
Yeah.
And
like
and
repeated
and
lines
says
and
this
stuff
line,
like
and he's
that,
like,
they're like
"Man,
ingrained in my
these scabs
brain.
always used to work when my brother was around." And you're like,
There we go.
huh.
There we go.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah.
And Eddie's brother, over the 6 seasons of this show, becomes this mythological figure.
You
And like,
sticky
there's
son
even
of
a
a gold
point
Ed
where like
boy.
there's one episode where the entire premise of the episode is
One of my
Eddie
favorite
telling
characters
people
actually
that his
was that
brother is
character.
going to come back.
What's his
And
name?
every single one of them has like this really severe reaction.
I keep wanting to say Ralph, but I don't
Like,
think that's correct.
Kevin is
Nas-
freaked the fuck out. Yeah.
Nas is like, oh no way, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
He's meant to be really strong, and then like Kevin, the tough
Rolf.
kid, is like, yeah, you know, I don't know what to do, and it's like this brother's shadow looms so large over this cul-de-sac. But then, like, you're watching as well.
He was so
and
nonchalant
after,
about
I don't know,
everything.
like, I don't know how many of these episodes I watched. It was a fair few. I'm like, I'm noticing there are no new characters in this show. And that's because for the entire, like, 6 seasons... Now, I have not watched every episode, so apologies if I do get anything wrong here, but I did, like, look this up, and I couldn't see any other characters. For the entire of the 6 seasons, they don't introduce a single new character.
It is a stage play, and on the stage are Ed, Ed and Eddie, Kevin, Nas, Johnny, Sarah, Jimmy, Rolf, and the Canker Sisters.
Yeah.
And that's it.
We'll get to the Canker Sisters.
That's the whole cast.
That's everyone. There are no parents. Like, you occasionally get the suggestion of parents. You might see one silhouetted in the foreground. That's it. You will not. They do not factor into the story other than like a presence that's over there.
Eddie's mom is voiced by him in a moment where he's describing, "Oh, I have to take a good picture, and if I take a good picture for picture day, I'll get to use my big brother's room, and I won't be the kid anymore. I'll get to move into big bro's room." And the voice of the mom is him telling it. So yeah, that's kind of how it is, like the head off camera style.
But then as well, the only setting is this cul-de-sac. There's no school. There's no
there's school. They do go to school.
Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But like for the first 4 seasons, like this all is like it takes place
Damn it.
over one endless summer, and it's just like
That's
this
that
moment
the
of
color
childhood
sample.
between these 2 years that is just kind of going on forever. You might say, Wooly, Ed, Ed, and Eddie has a liminal quality.
Oh man,
that
I gotta see
perhaps people
Backrooms.
might want to return to years later when life has set in.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting theory.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
And so as I was watching this, and again, this is coming from someone who has no nostalgia in like the traditional sense for Ed and Eddie. It was like it was hitting something. Like it felt really nice to watch this show. And another part of it is like it's fucking when your brain adapts to the visual language of this show, it is a fucking beautiful show. Like this show has some of the most inventive and insane key poses I have
Yes.
ever seen. When a character says a line of dialogue, they will bounce between like 5 or 6 of the craziest poses you've ever seen. And like when you compare that to say like Family Guy style, like just,
Yep.
and
Exactly.
you see, like I watched an interview with Danny Antonucci, the creator, and towards the end of the interview, he's like, they're like, "Do you have anything you want to say to the animation industry?" And he's like in a bar and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck Flash animation. Sorry, internet animators, not real fucking animation. And you know what? Fuck Pixar. Fuck John Lasseter." It's like,
Damn.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
This guy feels strongly, but watching the show, it's like this is beautiful. Like the amount of creativity that is going into. There's a bit in season 6, episode 1, where Ed gets wrapped up in
The dance.
Yeah, that might be my favorite episode.
It's great. It's a great one.
Ed gets wrapped up in like like the window blind. And
yes.
like, just look at the fucking. I don't know. How you concoct that drawing in your mind.
Mm-hmm,
it's fucking. It's so crazy.
It's a cartoonist's cartoon, and there's even bits like jokes online where it's like, "Don't pause at Ed and Eddie."
I drank my water too fast.
But I mean, but literally do pause it because the keyframing is insane. And they run bits with like moments of like with the Canker Sisters, for example, where like you can see an eyeball for 1 second, peeking out, but like there's actually a third eye, as a goof, or like an eye patch underneath Mary's eye. And,
imagine
like
drinking water.
Like they really do all the most
crazy.
extreme cartooning squashes and
That'd
stretches and tricks that are things that animators love to do to make things come to life in a fun way. And you really get to embrace that when you are down with your characters being ugly.
Yes.
When you are super on board for characters being off model and silly, that's what it's the opposite of. Remember when we were talking about like the sterile Uma Musume, they must be pristine on model horse girl characters that never look ugly from any angle, and how boring and stale that is, versus being willing to have them be goofy. That's it. Like I love that you embrace ugly characters as your thing, because you can make their eyes and legs and limbs shoot out in all directions,
Mm-hmm. And like, that's the other side of it as well. Like Ed, and Eddie are a lot of fun. The supporting cast as well, I just think is super strong. I like, there's just some of these characters, there's such a charm to them. Like Nas, the blonde girl, like
unattainable
she's
girl
just,
of the cul-de-sac.
She's just this like surfer dude, and she's really fucking chill. I love the Canker Sisters.
Not Brie at Cookie Box.
Every scene they were in, I fucking love them so much.
Nas
what are you bringing up Brie for?
on your block that was just too cute that you
Does she
never
have
had a
a
shot
clip
with.
of her choking on water
You
or
know?
something?
And the
But then sometimes
cankers.
they kind of suggest that maybe she likes Double D a little bit, and it's like, and he like freaks out whenever it's good, it's good.
Got that dance. He got that dance.
He did
Um,
get that dance.
and the cankers are this great, like, when you have to come up with like an antagonistic force, right? What an original way to go with it, because it easily could have been Kevin just beating them up and calling them dorks, being the rich
But
kid or whatever, or
Kevin is kind of like he's kind of the law a little bit. Like he's the hammer that gets brought down on Ed and Eddie when they stray too far.
Yeah, and he's one of them in the sense that he's another kid on the block. You know, he's got
Yep.
his bike, and his dad owns the Jawbreaker company or whatever. But it's like, he's not played as like the Nelson exclusively, and
No,
just
I was about to
you
say
know,
that exact thing. He's not Nelson. Like
yeah,
he's
Am I
okay.
missing a layer?
He can be cool, you
yeah.
know.
But instead, you have the Canker sisters as the antagonistic force.
Or did
That's
I just
also
not
like,
draw that
but
part?
it's like love
I didn't draw that part.
and
That's what it was.
obsession, and they're just these crazy hick
Well,
sisters in
that's
the
why I'm
trailer
doing it
park
this way.
that are
So,
like they're love them, but they're up to no good, and they're a chaotic
They're
force.
way worse than Ed and Eddie.
And you can't just pin it that simple, you know?
So when I was like doing my like research trying to figure out like what is Ed and Eddie online, I found that picture. I found that picture, the really famous one of Chapel Rowan, Sabrina Carpenter, and Billie Eilish from I can't remember what awards it was, and someone just captioned it, "Aren't these the bitches that are always trying to fuck Ed and Eddie?" And like, if you look at it, it's insane.
Oh God.
oh,
Oh fuck. Lee, Marie, and May. You know,
I
all
mean,
these-
look,
yeah.
dude. If I had watched this when I was a kid, I definitely would have had a crush on Marie. I would.
Who wouldn't? Of
I mean,
course. Of
I've, like,
course.
uh,
She's
I've
the alt
seen some-
one.
Yeah, like I've seen some like if she was an adult fan art, and it's like, yeah, people. This is not surprising at all.
Yeah, that's
Um,
freebie, you know. But she's also just a nightmare of a human being.
Oh,
And-
she is. But like, I love how awful
Yeah.
they make her. Because like, how often do girls in shows get to be this gross?
Never get to be this gross and like and a problem, you know. Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like you had like what's her name in Hey Arnold, right? Helga, right, who was like, yeah, she was clearly a problem and she liked him as well. And but like this is a thing where like when the Kanker sisters get mad, the whole cul-de-sac is like on hurricane alert because they're gonna destroy the city.
So this is
You
what I
know?
love. There's power scaling in Ed and Eddie. And it's like the boys are kind of near the bottom. Like
Yeah,
even
yeah,
Sarah, like Ed's little sister who's in love with
Mhm.
Jimmy, like she can cause trouble for them. But then Kevin is above her. But then the Canker sisters, they're like the final boss of the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, when they have a pirate episode adventure, like, and they're on the high seas or whatever, like the Cankers just are like, well, we're gonna go find them, and then they just get a pirate ship together, and just
Mhm.
like they have the reality bending powers of Ed, but like with all the chaotic energy that like none of the cul-de-sac kids have, you know.
Yep. No, they're a lot.
It's
of fun.
fun. It's fun.
So, I started doing some research online because I think when I got this challenge first, I felt like there was a specific thing you wanted me to find. So I went down a couple of different rabbit holes here, and we'll get to it.
Yeah.
I figured it out. I did figure it out, but you know, this was an extremely popular Cartoon Network show that, like, at its prime was going out to 31 million households. So, like, you cannot minimize like the cultural impact that's going to have,
Mhm.
and so it's going to result in a lot of the kind of like conspiracy theories or fandom stuff that happens with stuff like this. So, like, you know, one very popular theory, online theory surrounding Ed and Eddie, is that it takes place in purgatory.
Sure. Right. Right. Right.
And a
Straight
part of
off of
that,
4chan.
totally. And like when we talk about like the liminal quality of the cul-de-sac, it kind of, yeah, you know, you can kind of see it. You talk about like the lack of parents. A big, like, what a lot of people said was like a silver bullet, as in like, oh, this proves it. The color of the different characters' tongues.
Oh
All
yeah,
the
yeah.
characters have blue tongues
Mm-hmm.
because they're dead. And then like there's this whole other side of it
uh,
where Double D wears his hat all the time because he got brain cancer. The Canker sisters were all murdered by a serial killer. Really fun
okay.
theory. Absolute fucking bollocks. But like fun, you know?
Sure.
Like
I mean, the most they give you is like that season finale where they're all old, and and like Eddie's having a moment of thinking back, like, wait, was this whole adventure just me remembering my childhood and we were old people the whole time? You know, is one of the episode
mhm.
like season finales of the fourth season or so. Um, but as far as conspiracy theories go, yeah,
Look, it's so first of all, Ed's Eddie doesn't have a blue tongue. He has a green tongue. Second of all, the adults are in the show. They're just silhouetted and they're not obvious and all that kind of stuff. But like, look, who cares? It's a fun theory. Um,
Mine's
then I kind
like
of started to be
this.
like, okay, I want to get a beat for like, what is the general consensus on Ed, and Eddie in terms of its quality as a show from season 1 to 6? And the general idea is that season one and
Yeah,
two
that should be good.
are season one is very well regarded in terms of like its writing and stuff,
Now the
but it's
braid.
generally considered that seasons 2 to 3 are kind of the sweet spot in terms of the characters really come into their own and are the animation takes a huge like leap in quality in those seasons,
it
and
does. It
I could
does.
see that it is a beautiful show. And then season 4 is very well regarded as well, but maybe it's the point where a little bit of flanderization starts to creep in. And I could kind of see that. I felt in some of the later episodes, characters like Nas, like, I really like Nas in the early seasons because she's so fucking chill. And I think in the later seasons, she starts to
Oh,
take on the
oh
qualities
no,
a bit more of
I
the
messed it up.
girl, you know, who kind of like falls in love with Kevin and stuff a bit more. And it's kind of like, I don't know. But like, that said, like, I have not watched enough of the show to really make that statement confidently.
I remember when I was watching Adventure Time, and I remember when the seasons went from mini episodes to double length, you know? And I think that kind of some of that was like there's a bit of a thing where where here some of those episodes became the double length ones, you know,
Mm.
once the show I guess got bigger and such, and it doesn't always work for the format. You know, the 10-minute adventures I think um are best, but every now and then I do feel like sometimes when a show gets popular and it blows up in that way and you want to make more of it, that's something that's going to happen, you know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then season 5 is a really divisive season because season 5 they actually move it out of the cul-de-sac and into the high school. And
Hmm.
shockingly, they don't introduce any new characters.
Yeah.
But
There's
but now but and like I can understand it maybe from like the writer's point of view. It's like, oh, look, we can't keep thinking up plots for the kids go outside and it's like maybe
hmm
so and there's definitely like people who say as soon as it hits the school it's kind of ruined. I watched a couple of episodes from the schools ones and like I didn't feel it was like a dramatic drop in quality or anything. Like you do lose that kind of liminal quality that I love, but in general I thought there was still some good episodes, and like the school dance episode
hmm
might be my favorite episode. I
so
loved that
it was
episode.
great. It was really good. I think that it's like with any show where looking back on it now that it's all wrapped up, you're like, yeah, it was that thing that happened towards the end. Um in the moment, I'm sure there would be a like a more of a like, oh, why are they changing this? Why is it getting, weird here? And oftentimes things like that might signal like where a downturn is happening, right? Something a bit current, I suppose, is when JD leaves Scrubs. You know, and then when shows go through a moment of like, oh, a character leaves or the setting changes or now we're going to
Well,
go
like, can
over
I just
here.
say that I love that you said when JD leaves Scrubs, and that happened maybe 16 years ago.
Yeah,
You catch that new Scrubs season?
no, but I caught you talking about it.
Ha ha! You watch my content. That's so sad.
I didn't know there was a new season of Scrubs, so I was genuinely curious about what the fuck you were talking about. So I was like, wait, it was a straight up like, wait, what? What is happening? And
Okay,
I
so
learned.
just for the viewer watching at home, what actually happened is that Wooly saw he has notifications turned on his phone for my channels, and
all
so
right.
he sees it and he goes,
How do I
"Oh
do the
boy,
standing desk
John
bit? How do I
posted a new
do?
video! Oh
Can
boy,
I do
oh
the standing
boy!"
desk bit? My camera doesn't lift up, so I can't do the same bit. It doesn't
What's the
work.
T-shirt, Wooly?
It's just cool.
It is cool.
It's nothing. It's just cool.
Agreed. Um. So yeah. Another really popular theory online, and this was interesting. Double D is a girl.
Hmm.
There was a lot of this, and basically the idea is that
Haven't seen that
Double
one.
D, Double D wears the hat because she has long hair underneath, and her name Double D, all this kind of stuff,
Okay. Okay.
and
And
you
later
know,
bits as well. Yeah.
yeah, and like there's a lot. There's a lot of bits in the show you could kind of look at and be like, okay, sure. Um, I don't think it was something intended by the creators, but at the same time, you can see people kind of co-opting the character in like science fun ways. Like a lot of trans girls seem to relate to Double D, like very, very popular character with that demographic. And
Okay.
one of the lead storyboard artists even commented on it once, where he was asked about it, and he was like, "Hey, listen, if someone wants to interpret this character in a way that feels good, God bless." And that's generally my attitude with that stuff as well. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool, sure. But
Uh, but there was just something to like and sorry, I know you're doing it, but there was something to like after a long time. I feel like suddenly seeing a picture of Double D with his facts book, and it's like facts, and then point to insert meme format here, almost like Lisa pointing at the projector, right?
yeah,
That's one of the big that I'd say that's the most commonly used meme I've seen get spread around in terms of like what I'm talking about when I say like seeing this show coming back, right?
sure. I did
Um,
encounter that one as
Ed
well.
Ed swallowing the mattress whole, like going like a snake,
There's a lot of great bits with Ed swallowing stuff, and
swallowing
then like
things is yeah.
Kirbying, like Kirby, full mouth mode,
Yes,
becoming
100%,
those things.
100%. Um, Ed with the octopus on his head with the tentacles, and it just do you fear death, Jack Sparrow? You know? Yeah. And
Um,
just these bits where you're like man, this shit's like, yeah, it hits something. And again, I have some theories, but I you know, we can
I
go at your
I would be
pace.
so before I enter my closing argument here,
Yeah.
I'd be curious to what your theories are.
So I think you're kind of building to it, right? Because I know that the most similar experience I've had with a show like this, where like I had fond memories and it was a cool thing, and then it went and that was it, and then you started seeing it hit like in a way unexpected, was okay. So there's some stereotypes that we're gonna have to touch on here a little bit, right? One of them, hey, guess what? Black weeaboos, we love Dragon Ball. That shit just goes fucking hard. We ride for it. It's just what it is, right? Um, say less. There's something in particular about SpongeBob and how SpongeBob SquarePants came back aggressively in meme format on the internet. And I found that one of the sources of that I remember was basically like Black Twitter and a lot of places online. Like, it turns out we fuck with SpongeBob heavy, you know? And I remember that was something where it was like, oh, really? Like, we all, yeah, okay. Like, this was like, yeah, everybody remembers, and then like all this shit kind of hits, and it was like entertaining at every age all the way through up till now, where you get it when you see Patrick Star or a Krabby Patty reference or Squidward, any of those bits. And I think like SpongeBob and how you see it SpongeBob online today almost exclusively in meme format, whether it's all right, I'm about to head out, or floating up into the air while an old Kanye loop starts playing over it, and like all these other moments, and like Buff Squad SpongeBob versus all of them, right? And these all were things that like it touched on something that it was like, okay, culturally we were all appreciative of this back then at the time, and we kind of came back and realized we're all into it. I think that with Ed and Eddie, a big part of why it is just beloved old memory is you're talking about like the childhood. You're thinking about people watching this Cartoon Network back in the day after school, what was going on in life at the time, and the kids hanging out on the cul-de-sac, etc., all being a fond, strong memory. But I think the big picture show has a huge part to play in why everyone fondly remembers this, because of how well it wrapped up and sent it on its way and packaged this childhood memory in a place that went off and was basically like, and I'll remember that as my happy times back when I was a kid. I think the movie, the big picture show, and what goes on there and how it relates to everything we're talking about is why Ed and Eddie came back.
So the big picture show starts with Ed, and Eddie having pulled some
I
awful,
don't know if I ever actually
unscrupulous,
saw the movie.
unimaginable. So there's a
Now that
bit
I
where
think
Ed
about it.
Double D is like writing about it in his journal, and he's just like, it's so awful, terrible, and I kept thinking about Danganronpa 2.
Okay. The most terrible, awful accident that's ever happened in the history of.
And you just see like the aftermath of whatever this scam was, and like Nas is like really fucked up. The guy, what's the foreign guy called?
Rolf.
Rolf has like bites out of him,
Chunks of meat.
Like literally missing chunks of meat, and it's like everyone wants to fuck up Ed and Eddie, and so
Nas looks like Nas looks like Angelica's doll in Rugrats.
She looks like Weird
right?
Barbie.
Yeah, and like the scam. This was the darkest, most horrible scam that was so absolutely brutal that we could never know what happened. We can never know what the actual scam was.
So, and that was actually another big thing as well. People trying to piece together what the scam was. That was a big like sphere of like fandom.
But it didn't matter, because all that mattered was they went too far. Eddie went too far this time. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so they decide that the other children in the cul-de-sac are going to murder them, and so they need to seek out protection from Eddie's older brother.
The legend.
And so I'd say what ensues is an hour of hijinks.
Big boss. We must find Big Boss in Zanzibar land. He's the only one that can protect us.
In terms of Ed and Eddie, that is the character.
Yeah.
And so they go through like an hour of basically all the characters riding across like kind of different landscapes and like trying to figure out where this guy is. And so then you hit like the last, like, it must be like the last 10 minutes of the movie, and he's
Mm-hmm.
still not in it yet. And they
Mm-hmm.
find his trailer, and the door opens up, and a 13th character walks into the show. Ed's older brother is actually in it. And, like,
It pans
for
up to show
me,
a face, and it's like, oh shit, he's actually
yeah,
gonna be a character. Yeah,
and for
yeah,
me, like, it was like, holy shit, like, see, like, they're actually doing it. They've introduced another
big deal.
character.
Yeah,
I can't imagine watching 6 seasons of weekly television of Ed, Ed, and Eddie and getting to that moment. That must
yeah,
have been fucking mind blowing.
crazy. Yeah, yeah.
Um, and he's an asshole. He sucks. He's just
He
like this
sucks.
burnout, like, carnival worker, and he immediately starts, like, he seems okay for a minute, and then he immediately starts, like, bullying Ed and, like, beating up Ed, and, like,
And
to
there
the point.
there were hints of him being an ass, and obviously Eddie being a liar and a scammer,
Mhm.
exaggerating about him throughout the course of the show. So it's like that much has kind of been hinted at, but like the actual dynamic, when given a second to be like, oh, there he is, he's gonna save us, he's gonna protect us, he's the tough guy, he's older,
Ugh.
he can do it all, and it's like you are a fucking bully, and you've been abusing this kid, man.
So it was the bit for me where he hit double D that I was like I was like, fuck this guy, you know? And but then,
Are
like,
my
this
layers right?
really
No.
lovely thing happens where
I
all
need
the
to adjust where
children
the
in the
braid
cul-de-sac,
is.
like, kind of gang up on him and are like, fuck this asshole, he sucks. And it's
Here? Yeah.
and then after a while, like, it kind of it resolves. They kind of beat up
Really
this
quickly, kind of insanely
really
quickly,
quickly.
actually.
I am
A little
shocked
too
this dude
quickly.
wasn't the whole movie. Like, I'm
Yeah,
shocked
yeah.
that, yeah. Because I thought you could drag that out and have, like, some really great drama here, but I guess I don't think that's the show they're trying to make. And Eddie, the most, like, dislikable one of the three. He has this moment where he realizes his brother sucks, and it's like the one little bit of character growth.
I
But it
mean,
hits. It
it does.
hits.
It's yes, yeah, and I would say too that like in the movie, earlier in it, because yeah, the whole thing is paced out in this way where again you think this is gonna happen way earlier, and you're hitting like the fucking single digits left on the time bar when
Mm-hmm.
the brother's showing up, right? But what you get is there's a moment where Double D like thinks that that Ed and Eddie die in like quicksand, and they're pranking him, and he gets genuinely mad and he stands up for himself, and it's like pretty much the first time ever that like he fully asserts and goes, nah, fuck this, I'm out, and like leaves, and that is, even though it was something that they worked through, and he kind of, and then Eddie cries and he was sad, and they kind of were like, hey, it's okay, they worked through it, but he stood up for himself, and that was an important moment of growth for him. Like
Totally.
it was something that his character needed, right? And
Ugh.
as it might be a stretch,
I'm
but it's
getting
like
sleepy.
Ed
I
does
haven't even done
actually
that much really.
unhinge the door
But I
and
mean, it
think
is a lot.
how to solve the problem,
It
and
takes
that
so long.
results in
It
them
takes so
knocking out
long.
the older brother,
And I still
and
have
he
to
kind of
technically
solves it
separate the
without like
layers into left
kind of
and right.
cartoon dumbing his way through it, but he comes up with a solution, right? I think it's less of a slam dunk than at the very least I would say like uh Double D kind of having his moment there, but
Oh, that's
with
more
Eddie in
renaming stuff
particular,
too.
his moment is coming to face with everything, with the fact that his brother sucks,
It's okay.
and then having to go in front of everybody, yeah,
But the
I lied.
head
I lied about it
layers are
all.
pretty
I
much
just
set.
wanted to sound
I still have
cool.
to
I'm
separate
sorry I
left and
did all
right for the
that.
eyes.
And, has to kind
I
of
still have to do
accept
the
his
mouth
honest self in a
layers.
persona like
But I need to
way.
wait to do that.
Um,
Wow.
there is
you're,
a
you're
But
completely right.
it
You're
actually went
completely
by
right.
fast enough that
yeah,
I think I can
and
do
I
the
think
rest
that like even
in
though
a
it
decent
happens
amount of
very very
time
quickly, there's a bit of a like,
for just the
and
back
now
bills.
the kids from the cul-de-sac can accept them. There's a bit of a like, hey, you're one of us. We're actually down to ride with you, and this other guy who was really shitty to you that we all
Ugh.
thought like was gonna come in and
Oh,
beat us
I'm
up
really
and
getting
save you.
sleepy.
We were so afraid of him.
Means I gotta
Actually
get my
is
laundry
worse than
at some
what we
point
were gonna do.
here
And
in a bit.
that's crazy. How hard and sad must that be that he's just this horrible to you? Your life must have been really shit for this to be the case. So they step up for them, you know? And there's a little moment of like, yeah, okay, like being yourself is a quality that's really good
You
to learn
say
as a kid. And you know, it's nothing revolutionary here, but I
I should
think it's
add a
just a
save
nice
redeem.
moment of
That's what I should
growth
do.
that you have where there's a punchline that is literally Double D going, and it only took 6 seasons, 130 episodes, and 4 specials, you know, to get here or whatever. And then they
Ugh.
kind of have that little cap off to a pleasant childhood memory.
Yeah, I would say like you're right. It's not an especially like complicated or even like super deep moment. I think like it's a relatively simple moment, but kind of perfectly executed. Kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier, where sometimes just like simple shit executed well, it can hit so hard, and especially when like I was saying, I can't imagine like watching
Saves are
season one,
concussed.
episode one, and then growing up through your teenage years alongside this
How much
show,
should they cost?
and then seeing that, like that
Yeah.
would
I'll
hit
just go
so
100.
hard. So here
And
it
there are
is.
so many shows, that don't get to have an ending,
No.
much less a good one. There are so many that get canceled, that get cut off in the middle of trying to get interest to build up. So they do cliffhangers and they do, you know, things where they just didn't know whether they were coming back next season or not. But like, that was a cap off. That was it. That was
That
perfect.
was it. So, in terms of like why Ed, and Eddie is kind of having this sort of
There we go.
resurgence,
I have added
there's two answers. Number one is
save
that
your
Adult
work.
Swim started
I
re-airing the
should
show in
make a picture.
2023,
Should
and
choose
it's
a
been
picture.
steadily kind of building in popularity since then. It's gotten really big in like a lot of fandom spaces, and fandoms are kind of like, you know, there's a lot of fan fiction, a lot of shit like that, like a lot of things that people tend to do with this kind of show.
I guess
you know?
that's the literal answer, I suppose. Yeah.
That is the literal answer.
Ah!
But I think the real answer and the important answer is that like I have this. I think when you're shown when people try and talk about like the objective quality of art, to me, you can't really. I don't believe that objective analysis of art can really exist in terms of like a qualitative form, in terms
Okay.
of saying if something is good or bad. But the closest we have is
We say
time.
before listing this thing on a fucking list. Go on.
Ugh.
We both acknowledge how unbelievably ridiculous that list is. The closest thing we have is time. The closest thing is, hey, this show came out 20 years ago and people are still talking about it. Something about this show
Dang,
punched
there's
through
so many good
all
artists.
the noise, the infinity of other media, and people still give a shit.
People are
That-
still
that-
talking. People are still talking about the sound effects and how fucking good they are.
Yeah, and like that is like
the wild
like,
animal
look,
noises.
Look at Cowboy Bebop, look at classic Simpsons, look at Ava. The reason people still care is because the original was that fucking good. And in the case of Ed, and Eddie, like, it's
Is this
simple,
who I think it is?
but this is some real ass
Sorry,
art.
I'm looking at
This is about
who's live
real
right now.
emotions. This is about nostalgia. This is about how you felt on your block when it was summer and your entire world was the 10 kids who lived up and down from you. And it was about capturing that. And then somehow, in the last 10 minutes of its fucking movie, it's also about coming to terms with telling the lies about yourself that you've been perpetuating because you want other people to accept you. And once you get over those
I don't
lies,
think it is who I was thinking it was.
people actually accept you. And that's fucking real. You know, that's just real as shit. And so the reason that this had its resurgence, it's simple. It's because it's fucking great. That's it.
Congratulations. That's a fucking video essay.
Listen, when you summon the big dog.
Let's go. Oh man, it really is. It really is just that.
That's
I
it. That is
I
it.
completely feel it. I and you know the only other thing I'd want to say there is like, when talking about just some of those favorite episodes, can I bring up like two others that are ones that I just really loved. Um, I love the day the Ed stood still where he's becoming a monster, you know, and playing
Awesome.
as that.
So creative.
Right. Equally fun and creative is this one episode, 1+1=Ed,
Is this
where
where they figure out that they're in a cartoon?
and reality starts warping and they start grabbing the
Unbelievable.
backgrounds and like playing with the cells. It's so fucking great.
I
you
remember
know?
that
And they're
one
like,
where
they're
they
like, oh,
take
we
his
need to
lines.
understand things. The more we learn about the world, the smarter we get. The more money we can make. Let's learn. And the process of learning involves breaking down the fourth wall and learning about the fact that they're in a cartoon and acknowledging it and looking behind the background of the set. And just they do it so many funny, interesting things with that like really work out. That
Whoa, why is it
like,
so bright
again, if
on
I were a kid,
that
you know,
side, on that
seeing
one?
that, I don't remember seeing that episode in particular
My
back in the
screen
day,
just
but
that
like
dark?
seeing it here, I was just like, oh my god, that was great. That was really fun how they played with the medium. And then another
No,
one,
it's still
they
not
call
that
him
dark on
Mr.
my
Ed,
screen.
is
Well,
an
that bright.
episode
Sorry.
where one day Eddie decides, you know what? I'm gonna be a businessman,
Maybe it is.
and I believe that what we need to do is we gotta start going
Actually,
up.
if anything, it's kind of
It's all
desaturated
about up.
compared
And
to
then he
mine.
sets
Hold
up a
on.
whole business where the whole point of the business is line goes up. And that's it, right? And they're like, what does it mean up? And it's like, up, we just gotta go up. And then Double D's like, I built an elevator, is that up? It's like, yep, up is good, up, everything's gotta keep going up. And obviously it doesn't take much to see what we're making fun of and the absurdity of the entire stock market and the idea of fake money and this whole system being absolutely nonsense, destined to crash horribly.
Gotta drop the
you
gamma
know?
a bit.
But he's just like, nah, business is booming.
Not
We
very
gotta go
much,
up. It's
but
all about up. What's
just a
going on?
bit.
I don't know. Up, 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 up. And it's again for this silly cartoon from a million years ago. I'm like, damn, let's go. That's prescient. Run that in
That should be good.
2026, you know?
It's cool. It's cool watching that as a kid, being like, this episode won't have horrifying predictive qualities that will determine every part of my life.
Right?
But yeah,
That should be good. Whoa. Whoa? What happened? What happened to my boys? Oh, the boys are buffering. That's okay. We're about done. We're wrapping up. Look at that. That's my face. It's my face. Here, I'll put myself next to myself. Look at that. It's me. But at a different angle. It's me. But forward. Tried to match the proportions of this current Model 2 as much as I could. A little different when it's facing forward. I think I could probably actually widen the neck a little bit more on the model. It would still work. My model's mouth closes too fast. I need it to close just a little bit slower. Test? Test? That's a little bit better. A little bit better. What do you think? Are we twins or what? The head distance might match, but the torso distance does not. My shoulders are a little bit higher than well, I guess I'm holding up my jacket comparatively compared to how chill the Live 2D one is. I didn't want to get too much up in the head frame of the model in case it would cause like visual confusion or depending on the game that I'm playing, that kind of thing. So that's why the jacket is mostly slumped off. I typically don't mind doing asymmetry and stuff like that on models. Just it can be a little more time consuming. But for this, I specifically wanted to be careful about how much was going on visually up top. Because the horn's going to be pretty difficult to do, but also the prismatic effects and things like that. So, you've been a moderator for a year? Wow. Wow. Wait, that's like, huh. I don't know how long I'd been streaming before you became a mod. I actually don't know when my stream anniversary is. When I really think about it. I'm probably approaching 2 years as Alma. I usually I know that my anniversary is in the past had always been sometime around uh the end of summer because that's when everything that I do happens. I don't know how, but it's always like right before Halloween that everything important happens in my life. So, well, not everything important. Everything of note? No, that still doesn't sound correct. Everything that I'm trying to get done, that I'm trying to start something new or I'm trying to get done has to be around Halloween, fall time. It's always inevitable. Now, because that's the time where I have the least amount of time to do anything. So that's when it usually ends up happening. But I don't actually know when I started streaming. I know that I created the accounts at least 2 or 3 months before I actually uh started doing stuff, you know? But I don't know comparatively like when I started actually doing stuff. Because I didn't do a debut stream or anything. I just kind of started because there was nothing impressive for me to do for a debut stream. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know how I would even figure that out at this point. Because I also at one point forgot to turn on VOD saving. So there's some VODs that are lost to time. I hope it looks good when it's all done. I should probably lower the collar a little bit more. Just so it matches my reference a little bit better. And I can position the bow a little bit nicer. Well, give the bow some more breathing room. Maybe that'll also help make the shoulders look a little higher than they are. They're also kind of wide. So we'll see. We'll see how it looks once I get all of the backfill filled in. I'm glad that the horn has turned out okay. Say okay, but I mean like better than I was thinking I was gonna end up with. Why does that look like it look better? Okay. Yeah. That's there. Oof. About to freak out. But I messed something up after all that time. But trying to get it correct. I just hope I can do the prismatic thing decently. Because I've done something similar in the past, like a transparent kind of uh iridescent texture before. But prismatic, I expect is going to be more difficult to get. But I trust. I trust myself to do it, to get it right. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna wrap it. I'm too tired. I'm too tired. Eh. Whoa. Oh. Whoa. Oh yes. From the raid yesterday, we raided. It's Ruby. I think that's her name. I can't. I can't quite remember. But as a suggestion from Ranger. Yes, it's also a Ruby. That was it. Uh, from that, we got 2 follows. One from It's Also a Ruby, and the other from Just Mallow. Thank you for the follow. It's appreciated. And Guy has reached 20 stream streak. Paper has been a mod for a year now. Congrats. Got all the redeems. Oh, my yawns are going crazy, dude. My yawns are going crazy. Let's see if I got anybody. The We can do Zithrasite. Feet. I think we'll raid Sith. We'll do a little raid. Let's get ready to raid. Did I swap? Okay. My Twitch is so far behind compared to when I pressed that button. I was kind of worried it didn't click it. We're gonna be going in. I think they're gonna have ads pretty soon after we get in, but that'll be okay. Let me think. Anything before we go? I don't think so. I gotta come up with the stream schedule for next week, but it'll probably be some more art and at least one game. So I'll think about what I'm gonna play. We might start Remember Me if I feel up to it, depending on how much of the art I get done this coming weekend. We will have the Discord watch along on Sunday. And that will be. We were gonna do Yatakarasu, but I'm kind of feeling Ascendance of a Bookworm. I feel like after we talked about it during the last one, I'm kind of interested in watching it again. So we'll probably do that one instead. Monster Jam. I haven't heard a Monster Jam ad in forever. That's just ingrained in my brain the same way that identity Ed and Eddie sound effects are. All right. I'll see you later. And enjoy the raid over at Zith. They're playing Mina the Hollower. I'm gonna have to raid and run though, because I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy. Where'd it go? What the hell? Where'd it go? Why didn't it open for me in another window? It usually does that. There we go. Okay. I'll see you later.